Welcome, my name is Thomas and this is Smarthome-Training. This video is part of a video online training that I present to you for free. New videos will be published every week. But if you can't wait so long, please go to smarthome-training.com and use the offer code SMARTPeople to get a discount. This is just one of the ways to support me. You can also become a Patreon and please check the tiers, they are really great. But now, enjoy today's lesson. Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, I would like to talk about standards and technologies. In my opinion, there are two big differentiations, wired and wireless. So when you have the possibility, go wired, otherwise go wireless. Wired, I think you can do this when you buy a house that you renovate. If you, for example, build a new house, a new flat and so on, this is a good way to go the wired way. And it won't be much more expensive, in my opinion, than to rely, for example, on different wireless options. Wireless is fine, perfectly fine, if you live in a flat, for example, and a house that are rented. And I have some of these components as well, so I use Z-Wave and Zigbee lights in my home as well, and they work well. So I don't have any problems with that, but I can't really tell how this will all develop. So if you live, for example, in a new area where a lot of smart homes are, for example, raised, so your neighbor and neighbor and so on have a smart home, I don't know if somehow this will interfere, because I will talk about the standards that are on the market, and somehow at one point of time they might interfere. And so it's better to have a bus cable is used at KNX to use that. So talking about the wired stuff, we have KNX, as already mentioned. It's been on the market for decades. Use it if it is possible for you. There are some things like LCN, Local Control Network. There are things like Homematic wired. There is, for example, something like Digitalstrom here in Germany. I don't know if it's available in other countries as well. I would suggest simply Google wired standards for your country. You might fall over KNX all of the time because I told you it's, I think around the world it's very famous. Robust, and that is my recommendation. If you don't have the possibility, wireless, it's perfectly fine at the moment, and you can use a different kind of technologies. So everything will have an advantage, disadvantage. It's too much for that video. Just to give a rough overview, you have Z-Wave devices like from Fibaro. There are roller shutter relays, there are switch relays, there are window and door sensors, flood sensors, and so on. You have Zigbee, very famous Philips Hue lights are using Zigbee. There are also thermostats from Zigbee and so on. So you get a lot of stuff as well. Before, I think Zigbee was a little bit more focused on the lights, but nowadays you get a lot. You should compare a little bit what you need in your house and in your flat, for example, of components, because maybe you decide on one or the other system what you need. Because if something is missing, like a roller shutter relay, and you really need that, and Zigbee standard does not support that, maybe go with Z-Wave, because you can buy more stuff from Z-Wave. But in this course, you will learn to combine the different technology. So that is not a no-go. So if you would like to start with Zigbee lights, for example, we will use a system here, OpenHAB, that will be able to control different standards. So you could take the lights from Zigbee and the roller shutter from Z-Wave. That's no problem at all. And the last thing I have here, for example, is Wi-Fi control. This is a Shelly switch relay. There are other Wi-Fi control devices you might know as on-off, zone-off. Someone called it zone off. It's an S on off, so smart on off, something like that. You can use that. There are other standards like an ocean and KNX RF, so radio frequency. But yeah, if you have KNX, you maybe only need that for things that are out of your reach, so outdoors, something like that might use KNX RF, because I think that is really too expensive, so better stick to another of this common technologies and standards like Z-Wave, Zigbee, or the Wi-Fi things. I think an advantage of this Z-Wave stuff is that there are companies, let's say, if they want to build such a Z-Wave device, they have to go through a process, quality process, and you have to pay a little bit money for that. So that's why they are a little bit more expensive than this Zigbee and Wi-Fi stuff. You can say, okay, Z-Wave, Zigbee, maybe Wi-Fi. That is the range from expensive to, yeah, cheaper. But if you want a reliable system, I can tell from my own experience, Z-Wave is very good as long as you get it running. Sometimes, yeah, it's a bit of a pain getting this Z-Wave devices running and integrated in your system, but if they are connected to your host, that's fine. That's mainly it. To wrap it up, we have wired standards and wireless standards, and some companies and technologies behind that. And so if you want to build your smart home, look at your own personal situation. If you build your own stuff, then go wired. If you live for rent, maybe go wireless. Get some experience. I did it myself, and as I bought my house, I went fully KNX, and I had, for example, some experience in the smart home sector. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Please remember, you can buy the whole course right now at smarthome-training.com. You become a Patreon, and you also could subscribe and put on the bell button. That's perfectly fine, so you get notified when the next lesson is uploaded. And I would like to thank you again, say bye-bye, see you next week.